Have you ever heard of a helicopter parent? The kind that hovers over every decision, corrects every mistake, swoops in at the first sign of frustration? Listen, I get it. Parents don't like watching their kids struggle, and when they do intervene, it's usually coming from a place of genuine love and concern. However, overbearing support, even if it's well-intentioned, can have unintended consequences, leading the child to feel less confident, less resilient, and more likely to shut down in the face of stress. Now, I'm not saying that parents shouldn't support their kids. I'm just saying there's a better way to do it. In this video, we're going to talk about a strategy that helps to build your child's independence rather than them remaining dependent on you. If you've ever seen a building in mid-construction, then you've probably noticed all the pipes and platforms that construction workers use to access the areas that they're still working on. That structure is called scaffolding. It's a temporary support system that allows for safe and efficient completion of a project. Once the project is completed, the scaffolding is removed. That exact concept can apply to parenting. In fact, scaffolding is a term that's been used in the field of child development since the 1970s, describing a strategy to help kids learn more effectively. It's a teaching method in which adults provide temporary support to help kids master new skills, bridging the gap between what the child can and cannot do on their own. Developmental psychologist Lev Vygotsky refers to this space as the zone of proximal development. The goal is for support to exist only as long as it's necessary for the child to become autonomous. Meaning, yes, the parent becomes less and less needed over time. Scaffolding goes beyond simply giving answers or completing tasks for the child. It's a dynamic, interactive process that adapts to the child's abilities. The adult models behaviors, breaks tasks into manageable steps, and creates a safe space for experimentation. Support is highest when a challenge is new and gradually decreases as confidence and competence grow. Intervene too much and the skill isn't internalized. Intervene too little and the skill isn't accessible. Think of yourself as a master craftsman and your child as an apprentice. How can you expect them to become masters themselves if they're not given the opportunity to practice new skills and experience and navigate through failure and frustration on their own? If you want your child to learn to tolerate frustration and ambiguity, they have to learn those skills and strengths in a safe environment. This process can happen at a physical, cognitive, and emotional level. Let's start with physical. Anyone who has ever held a newborn baby knows the first rule: always support the head. Why? Because the baby can't do it themselves yet. But as their head is consistently supported by the adult, the neck muscles strengthen and eventually the child can lift their head and move it around to explore the world on their own. Next, cognitive scaffolding. A 4-year-old who is working on a puzzle might struggle to fit all the pieces together. They've yet to master pattern recognition, spatial reasoning, and critical thinking skills. Without any adult intervention, they might feel inclined to give up. But if the adult just does it for them, then they're not learning those skills. However, an adult that offers guidance by asking, "I wonder what color piece we should look for," or "I wonder what shape would fit into that space," helps the child to integrate individual pieces into a bigger picture, and eventually they'll be able to solve the puzzle on their own. And lastly, emotional scaffolding. This often happens alongside physical and cognitive scaffolding. New challenges can spark anxiety, frustration, and sadness. If the child has not yet learned to regulate their emotions, they'll be more prone to shutting down, giving up, or acting out. Adults can provide appropriate modeling of emotional regulation, help the child name and validate their own feelings, and explore strategies for emotional expression. Over time, children internalize these strategies, learning to regulate their own emotions and persevere through new challenges. Now, this might seem kind of paradoxical, but if you want your child to become independent, you have to start with an appropriate level of dependence. Children don't gain autonomy simply by being expected to figure everything out on their own, but because an adult supported them, guided them, stayed present, and gave them the space to grow. This will require you to consistently assess the needed level of support and mindfully choose to step back at the right time to allow your child to face necessary challenges that will guide them to master new skills. It also requires a lot of patience and restraint. It can be difficult to allow your child to struggle in order to learn because doing it yourself can be a lot faster, easier, and often less messy. But remember, the payoff comes later. The short-term discomfort is what leads to long-term skills and independence. After all, every master chef started out by burning their toast, and every great musician has played more wrong notes than they can count. So, when your child is learning new skills, ask yourself, what are they already capable of? What's the next level of growth, and what can you do or not do in order to support that growth? Consider when they need guidance, modeling, or simply the space to experiment on their own. By thoughtfully balancing support and independence, you're doing much more than simply helping your child complete a task. You're teaching them how to think critically, how to persevere, and how to become confident, capable, and autonomous. Thank you again so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe or leave a comment to let me know what you want to hear more of. Until next time, thank you.